Hey there, my friends. It is Tuesday, the 28th of July, 2020, and I'm arcing and sparking today. I'm arcing and sparking because Dr. I guess her name's Stella Immanual, who came here from Africa to question what's going on with COVID-19. Her testimony is very clear, and it's phenomenological. She has had about 350 patients present with COVID-19, and she has used the quinine, zinc, and antibiotic cure, and she says they all pulled through. Now, if that is correct, then the official dogma that says her methodology for treating the disease has to be investigated. But that's not what's happening, baby. I've been restricted at Facebook for merely standing with her testimony. And Donald Trump Jr. has been restricted at Twitter, and other people are being restricted. Anybody who stands with her testimony gets restricted on social media. You know what that is? That's called a pogrom. That's a communist Bolshevik pogrom. When you knock people off in order to not allow them to speak their mind. Now, I haven't talked very much about this, but I was born with a lot of functional damage. I have blood disorder. I've never had a clear blood test or even typing. My blood is anomalous. They don't know what to do with it or how to classify it. And about once a year, I have an episode of blood pressure that's up in the stroke range, 230/130. And the EMTs rush me to get to the hospital, and they charge me thousands of dollars. And I sit in the hospital, and they take test after test after test after test. Same tests every time, same tests every time, same tests every time. Then they give me drugs to lower my blood pressure, and then they say, well, we're done with you. There's nothing more we can do for you. So I go back to my regular practitioner, and she writes everything down, but there's no diagnosis, there's no prognosis, there's no articulation of what's going on in my body by the allopathic school, which at this point, after 50 years of their hedging and hemming and hawing, I write off to quackery. Because they keep charging and charging and charging and charging and charging and charging and charging for nothing. I have had to figure out myself how to keep myself alive, what supplements I need, or I will die if I don't have them. What amendments will help me, how I have to control what I eat and control how often and how much I sleep and how much I exercise. The medical allopathic profession has been zero for me. And now everybody's attacking Stella, the doctor who actually gets patients to survive the COVID-19 attack. And we all know that 5G is going to amp up the COVID-19 attacks by a factor of hundreds or thousands, because 5G collapses water molecules in the body cells, so the body dehydrates. And when the body dehydrates, the blood pressure goes up and you can't breathe. I mean, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff as asthma, as allergies, as air pollution, and 5G just makes air pollution 1,000 times worse. And it's the same as glyphosate, which dehydrates the grains, makes them easier to harvest. And when you eat them, it dehydrates the body, so your blood pressure goes up and you get, you know, you can't breathe and you wonder why. And so I'm here to tell you that we're having a number done on us by Big Pharma and by this Tony Fauci, who has been on the receiving end of monies for the development of diseases and vaccines since 1983. He's been profiteering off of this entire industry. I never thought that I would live to see an industry developed out of disease. But as we know, cancer is an industry, and now lung problems are an industry, right? And pollution and corruption are industries. They're protection rackets, problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, and then they organize an industry to be the caregivers to take care of the problem. And then the number of people who die is just collateral damage. If you look at the statistics, 250,000 people every year die from iatrogenic, medically induced error deaths. 250,000 in the United States alone. And you wonder how we're supposed to believe these people. How we're supposed to believe that breathing our own air, our own exhale behind a mask is good for us. I mean, come on. All right. So I am restricted at Facebook, and I generate an enormous amount of revenue for them. So it doesn't really matter to me much. I have other things to do. And they can just go whistle for their revenue. And so that's what I'm saying. This Stella, Dr. Stella, what's her name? Stella Immanual. I admire, and I really think that woman has some guts, and I want to thank her for her service. And you people who just want to bend over and let Big Pharma and Big Medical do their number on you and create an industry of disease that you can be victim to, I'm sorry, I'm not having it. Not here. See you guys.